Hey there guys, GMO73 here, bringing you another spoiler article coverage for the day. This time we are talking about more of the green resonators and cards, so we're going to jump right in and start with Pricia. Pricia, the Beast Queen in hiding. It's hard to see, but there is a 1 in the free cost, so she is a 3-drop. Human Beast, 7/7, so pretty good stats. When this card enters your field, you may put a resonator, an evolution counter on target resonator with no evolution counters on it. And that'll play into effect with the other resonators you're going to see in a bit. And then if a spell or ability would increase this card's attack or defense, it increases by double that much instead. So wow. Also, the thing to note is she is a beast, so keep that in mind, that she has that second type. And she doubles all things that bonus her, and you can pay green to choose any number of attributes, and this card becomes those attributes until the end of the turn. So you have other cards that kind of bump up green resonators or a red resonator or dark resonator or whatever. You can, or you need to avoid it, like prevent all damage from something, or target blank, something gets that, whatever. You can use her ability to kind of get around that. The other thing is, first thought is, you have something like Arthur, the Dreadlord of Vengeance. You could pay green, give her black resonator, if your opponent's playing Arthur, give her the darkness resonator attribute, and then suddenly she gets double buffed from your opponent's Arthur. You can take advantage of your opponent's plays, essentially, and it makes sense because she's in hiding, so she's trying to do what she needs to do to stay out of sight, including, kind of shifting her attribute around a little bit. Really like it. Makes sense in the storyline too, as we know that the Sacred Beasts sacrificed themselves to save Pricia from Dark Alice, hence why we haven't seen a Dark Pricia. Then we have the birds. Ziz, the bird that envelops the sky, one of the 12 apostles, also a beast. Evolution of pay 4. If there are no evolution counters on this card, but an evolution counter on it, that's a really, really high, expensive cost, but I think that really, ultimately, because it's a 2-drop, it positions itself really well for a third turn Pricia. So, you're really not going to use that pay 4. And as long as there's 1 or more evolution counters on this card, it gains +3/+3 in flying. So if you play this on turn 2, play Pricia turn 3, suddenly this guy becomes an 8/8 flyer. That's a lot of damage. And whenever an evolution counter is put on this card, you may put evolution counters on target resonator with no evolution counters on it. So it multiplies evolution counters, really. So that makes sense for the high cost as well, because essentially when you put an evolution counter on it, you're going to get to put an evolution counter on something else, which makes a lot of sense when you see what the costs for the other evolutions are here in a second. So just having an 8/8 flyer for essentially 2 is very good. It's a very powerful card for more aggressive green plays, and the fact again that it's a beast, I really like that as well. Then we have Hraesvelgr. I'm gonna say Hraesvelgr, the Drinker of Death, 2-drop beast. It is a 5/5 as well. Evolution of pay 1, discard a beast, put an evolution counter on it. If you get 1 or more evolution counters on this card, it gains +3/+3. And whenever an evolution counter is put on this card, target player shuffles all magic stones from their graveyard into their magic stone deck, and shuffles all other cards from their graveyard into their main deck. So green has this kind of recycling feel now. We had it with Horn of the Sacred Beasts, but you might not want to be maining Horn of the Sacred Beasts if you're not playing Sacred Beasts with the new Pricia, combination. So that means that you're going to want to play Hraesvelgr and play Beasts and use this kind of to do your recycling as well, rather than the Horn. You might still want to play Horn ultimately, but you have that option to not, in a sense. Then we have Vedfalnir, the Eraser of Wind, the 3-drop beast 7/7, evolution of the same, that pay 1, discard a beast. As long as there are 1 or more evolution counters on this card, it gains +3/+3 and target attack. So it becomes a 1k target attack. And whenever an evolution counter is put on this card, search your main deck for a card named Drop of Yggdrasil, reveal it, and put it to your hand, and then shuffle your main deck. So, we don't know what that card does yet. We don't know what Drop of Yggdrasil does yet. I think it's a card that just puts an evolution counter on something. I mean, we've seen the leak of it, but not the official translation. So I will be very interested. This card will get significantly better or worse based on what Drop of Yggdrasil does. So we'll have to see. And then the Beast Queen's Guardian. Beast, 1-drop, 3/3 evolution counter. If there's no evolution counters on this card, put an evolution counter on it. Green for a green and 1, and as long as there are no 1 or more evolution counters on this card, it gains +3/+3. So these general kind of buff effects. The first thing I see here is Beast Tribal. Ultimately, I mean, the first thing I see here is like blue is green, black, Beast Tribal. Yeah, with little red. Because think about it this way. I'm just going to point this out. That's the article itself. Little red says anything that busts up your resonators gets doubled instead. And Pricia says if a spell ability would increase with this card's attack or defense, it increases by double that much instead. So that means that any effect, if little red was flipped, any effect that comes out would get quadrupled for Pricia. So a rapid growth suddenly becomes +16/+16 for 1-drop. So really, Pricia is your finisher in this deck, hands down. You drop a rapid growth, you drop an evolution of limits. An evolution of limits is literally game, because it's gonna be +24/+24. I mean, putting her up to a 31 with a single attack. So I definitely think that black-white tribal, or black-green tribal with Pricia is going to be, with little red as your ruler, is definitely going to be a deck to watch out for. Hands down, I think it's going to be a phenomenal list when this comes out. Very excited about it. But let me know what you guys think, because that's all the cards we have for today. Tell me what you think. These cards are bad, good, you want to play them really bad, you want to have a deck idea you have for them. Let me know in the comments what you think. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe as always. And until next time, this is TM073 signing off.